music box here. I mean, I'm sorry. This is DJ Wolf Live, the Commander Edition. I gotta talk about this, guys and gals. Seriously, you know, there was a pastor. There's a pastor on on WTOP that actually he broadcasts his mini sermon. I call them the mini sermons uh, in between radio segments, and he said one of the most heartfelt messages about brotherhood I've ever heard. Well, or I've heard in a long time, but from this past, and I gotta get his name because I gotta start following him because he's really in deep thought with his statements about love and all of that through the Lord and all that. It's just really deep, and this one almost had me in tears, or practically did, rather. But that's the same way I feel about the Brotherhood of the Commanders. Now, DQ Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn himself mentioned it in the video I saw last night. Matter of fact, I think it was on the news or something. But anyway, about the Brotherhood, which is why they've been doing what they've been doing this year with amazing victories against some hard fought battles with some of the best teams in the NFC. And I thought about that. But not only I see the thought of brotherhood amongst the players, I see the brotherhood amongst people who actually are Commanders fans. I'm talking about fans who really believe in these guys. You know, now I lived in Cleveland, Ohio. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I lived there. Grew up there and lived there for 21 years. And I'll be honest, there were not a lot of Browns fans. I didn't know a lot of Browns fans in Cleveland. Honestly, God, I did not know of almost none. To tell you the truth, I'm talking about diehard Browns fans. I knew people who went to go to see the games and stuff, and I saw one or two games. So I used to work down there at the what they used to call the old House of Thrills, which was Cleveland Municipal Stadium. I worked there for years. But anyway, one of my first major jobs, matter of fact. So anyway, I uh I never felt that way. And being at home, I had some good friends that that we were kind of bonded with. We didn't, only things I did was go to football. I mean, go to baseball games, go see the Indians for $3 a pop per person. I'm talking about going all the way back to 1974, 75. You know, um, my dad never was into going to doing sports like that with me growing up. I'm going to give it to you straight. you know, but I vowed. I said if I have any kids, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. My son was 2 years old when he told me he wanted to play football. Two. All right. He had had I spotted him having a strong desire to want to play sports, and he did it all the way through college. And when he was in the Boys and Girls Club, I supported him throughout his school years. Even when he tried out for high school football in high school, but he didn't succeed, unfortunately, because we had some old biased ass coach. That's another old story. I'll tell you about that in another podcast. But and I was a Dallas fan. I'm a reformed former Dallas fan, now Washington Commanders fan, and I admit to that. I strongly admit to it. I had no problem. But over the years, Dallas got on my damn nerves, you know, and they did a little something in the '90s and stuff, and that was pretty much it. Jerry Jones dismantled his coaches right after they win. You know, and that's why I'm no longer a fan of Cowboys, man, because they get rid of players, they use players up real bad, and they don't gel like that. One thing about the Washington Commanders, I can say that they gel like that, you know, and they got a lot of heart. And Jason Daniels is probably one of the most humblest players I've seen in a long time, man. You know, he's kind of you know, I guess he's very humble, but he go out there and do his job. He get the job done. It kind of a man to me. He remind me of my son. He's actually younger than my son, but it's just the fact that I admire him. I really do. And who is this? Oh, hey, Uh, oh, okay, yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'm not gonna respond to that. I don't know if you're trolling me. I hope not. But either way, guys, if I'm going to say this right quick, and I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about. Um, hey, hello, how you doing? M2 lover. I can't read it that well. Anyway, I appreciate you though. Um, if you like what I'm talking about here, subscribe. I got more content to talk about later on anyway. So let me go back to what I'm saying. So I feel the brotherhood, man. You know, the squad is like done things I haven't seen football teams do in a long time, and that's play like a team. You know, and the wins that they had the last 5 games, like I'm like, were some of the most amazing games I've seen in football in many, many, many years, man. I was like, oh my god, man, it's absolutely insane, but I'm loving it. It actually made me get back because for a while, one time for a number of years, even with the Cowboys, especially with the Cowboys, I stopped. I didn't watch football that much. I watch football day in and day out now. You know, this whole season, I ain't watched an entire season of football like this in years. I really haven't because of sucky teams like the Cowboys, and then for a while, the Commanders were struggling, and stuff like that. But but it renewed my interest in football. You going to have probably 8 of the best teams I've seen in the last several years play football this weekend, starting tomorrow, and I can't wait. But it renewed my interest. It renewed my spirit in brotherhood and man, and I'm a little bit choked up about it. I may not sound like it, but I am. I'm not going to front, folks. I'm a little bit choked up. The reason why I'm choked up because I never felt this love before, man, among people who are fellow fans like I am. Never felt that way. Didn't feel that way at all, Cleveland. You know, and for a while, I didn't feel that way at all here because I was mainly, I guess, because I was a Dallas fan. No, I'm not anymore. What did somebody say? I subscribe. I love listening to people. I do too. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I feel this. I feel you on the story. Sad and happy. Yeah, I am too. That makes me feel good. It does in a very emotional way. But like I said, the things and uh, got old boy a little choked up there. I'm not going to front, but the things that I do or done, and I still do with my son is some of the things that I never really did with my dad. My dad never really did with me. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to front at all. Um, Real talk. I appreciate the sub though. Thank you, thank you. Um, I you know, the brotherhood is a real thing. Uh, I didn't really have any older brothers. The older brother I got, well, I ain't gonna even go into detail about. It. We don't really see eye to eye. We never really did see eye to eye. It's a no, it's a long story. Maybe one day I'll talk about it. But I I feel as I get older, the friends are few and far between. I've had friends that passed away on me over the years, man. And I don't have that same camaraderie. Like I said, when I wear his commander's uniform and T-shirt, because I do believe in the team. Otherwise, I wouldn't wear it. And for a long time, I didn't because I wasn't into them like that was in the Cowboys. But for some reason, when I watch these fans out here, these fans are all heart when it comes to the team. And to be honest, many of the folks who I know, there are Washington Commanders fans, are some of the best people I know. I'm not going front. I'm not going front. And I meant that too. I really mean that. You know, wasn't the same one with Cleveland. Because that team, and it's just a different environment. You know, let me tell you a story. So I was I wasn't really destitute. I lived with my folks at the time in the '80s. and I was out of school for a couple of years, and I didn't know where I wanted to do. I had a part-time job frying chicken for Church's Chicken, and I did a couple other odd jobs. I went to Job Corps uh, for different courses and stuff like typing and all that stuff, and even took a little pre-IT course. This was the '80s, by the way, so it was just starting to come out with the computers around that time, the PCs, in classroom environments and stuff like that. But anyway, though, it I got to a point where Cleveland, man, was just, it's a different environment now, but at the time, Cleveland wasn't the same city it is now, you know. But it just things that wasn't popping for me when I lived there, and that's why I had to get out of there, man. I had to go. Was nothing happening for me. It just and the Browns itself really wasn't happening there, you know. But but it just for me personally, when I left Cleveland and I got in the military and did my tour overseas and all of that, man, things got better. It just seemed to got better. It got better and better and better. And then I came down here. I was stationed out here for about almost a year. And then that's at some point where I met my wife, you know. And from there, we had kids and stuff. And I just had a different life from what I had when I lived in Cleveland. But that's the thing, though, man. I met so many wonderful folks here and families and stuff who my family. I didn't have that kind of life when I lived in Cleveland. It was just the opposite. And I'm not making this up. This is real. This coming straight from my heart. You know, even my church, nothing but love, man. I had rehearsal last night, but nothing but love. Yeah. And I've known these guys for about 20 some odd years, man. But it's been like that, you know. But it's just that, when you get to a point where you had a struggle in your life, when you had stress and strife, I'm talking about for me as a young child growing up in Cleveland, and you get to an environment where people, you be around families, man, ain't no dramas with them, man. It's just nothing but love, man. And I met Commanders fans, and I know several of them. They ain't nothing but it's all about love, man. And that's why I can see why the Commanders are doing what they're doing today. Thank you, M2 lover, MM2 lover. I appreciate it. You're a real one. I'm about to follow you, but yeah, I just I just feel like you know things did get better when I left home, man. As a result of that, but I got myself, put myself around good folks, the church. I mean, I don't have a lot of friends, and that's fine, But the thing of it is, I got family here who loves me. I love them. I got God on my side, man. You know, I'm doing okay. You know, it's better that for some of us. Sometimes you have to make that move. Sometimes you got to make that move to do better. Because I'm gonna tell you, before I left Cleveland, I was doing bad, man. I ain't gonna even fraud. I really was. I had to get the hell out of there. You know, one day I'm gonna talk about it in the podcast. I'm gonna go all into it about why I left. But the fans here are and not Wizards. Let me know it's a struggle. You got really, really loyal fans. I got family members who are loyal to the Wizards, but the Commanders is on another whole level, and I'm hoping that the team carries the same brotherhood with them tomorrow night. But regardless of the outcome, man, I'm really proud of these guys, man. These guys made me the believer, uh, more of a believer not only in the team but in the area than ever before. And I've been in this area for 36 years. You know, because it is my home for 36 years. You know, and will continue to be. You know, It will continue to be. And I'm gonna always be a rider for Commanders, man. Because I said, yeah. Some people say the running line is, "Hey, you been to Dallas?" Yeah, I have actually. I went to Dallas and see the Commanders play them 2 years ago when the Commanders lost that game. Sure did. And that's when they were. I think they were still the Washington football team just before the. I think just before the name change or just after the name change. But nevertheless, but then again, even though the Dallas fans were pretty cool, I ain't gonna front because I was a Dallas fan at the time. Uh, I felt because I've been here for so long, and my son actually was the one that convinced me because he had switched over. He actually he didn't have no specific team. He said, "No, I'm gonna go with the home team." And I said, "You know, if you do it, I'm gonna do the same thing." That's what families do, stick together, man. And that's the lesson that I'm trying to convey. You know, I came from a very uh, dysfunctional home, man. I'm not gonna go into specifics about why or whatever, but I know for certain that God led me, even though I was in the military, and I was hoping I would. Because I always have pointed, I said, if I ever lived anywhere, I wanted to live out here. That's even when I was younger. I was young. I was like before I even before I even started during high middle school. Before I even started middle school, I was talking about moving here because I had always heard some good things about DC. Not everything about DC you hear about is bad. There are a lot of good things here, and a lot of good reasons why I made it my home 36 years ago and never look back. You know, I remember one time I had a conversation with my dad. Right, it kind of like was the turning point of why I stayed here. You know, dealing with mess up there with them, him, and God rest his soul. Not he wasn't a bad person, but he just had some personal demons, man, some personal issues, man, that wasn't good. That wasn't good for my psyche. And I'll get to that in another podcast. So I told him, I said, well, I'm thinking about staying down here and making it my home. You know, I said a lot of and it was a lot of good opportunities that was here, and I took advantage of it from the time I got out of the military. Before that, and he was like, no, no, yeah, you don't need to be down here. He said I didn't need to be down here. Exactly his very words. You know, yeah, just told me right up front where I needed to be. Mind you, when he told me that, I was 24 years old. I was 24. Been on my own really since I was like 20 years old, really 21, but 2020, about 2021. And you tell me for the last 4 years I've been on my own, and you want to sit there and tell me I don't need to be where I want to be as a grown man? Yeah, telling me I don't need to be in the area where I have opportunity versus an area where I didn't have as much opportunity. You know, I'll talk about that in another podcast. That which is the reason why I didn't go back to Cleveland. You know, and only thing he did was just motivate me to be determined because I kind of didn't really want to talk about it, but he was a great, uh, how can I put it? He was the best person to give me confidence in myself, ironically, which is probably why I said, I'm going to do my own thing. I don't care what you say. I'm a grown man, you know. But that's why I feel the way I do about this area because this area was nothing but opportunity for me to be able to grow. Where if I stayed where I was at, thank you. Thank you, M2 Lover. I support you to it. I appreciate you. I really do. Big shout out to M2M Lover. Appreciate you. I just gotta keep it real. I mean, that's this is for all to hear. That's why name and I'm gonna give you a side note. If you already know this true story. When I started this channel several years ago, I named it for all to hear because of the uh, withheld information that was held back that could have got George Zimmerman convicted for the murder of Trayvon Martin. And I was so frustrated. I said, create a channel, and I even talked about instance that trial and other trials on this channel when I first started this channel because of that, and I named it For All to Hear TV because you need to hear the truth about a lot of stuff, or at least from my perspective, of a lot of mess that's going on that nobody wants to talk about in the regular media, the lamestream media, what they call it, because it is lame. They don't tell you the full story about a lot of stuff that's going on. That's why I created this channel, yeah, along with several others like TD Media and Black Authority and Tyreek and those guys. I roll with them guys. I ain't even front, you know. But I started my channel before I even knew who those guys were. To tell you the truth. Um, but that's the reason why I started. Thank you, thank you, MM2 Lover. I'm sorry, yeah. But anyway, because people ain't telling the truth. I thank God for social media. You know, social media for me personally was an outlet. Let me tell you another story. Now, back in 1990, mid 90s, okay, well, really before that, they used to call me Wolf during high school because I used to have a head full of hair, and my dad when he cut my hair and shaped it up, it looked like a wolf, like a wolf man. They used to call me Wolf. So I named myself DJ Wolf in the 90s when I started buying some DJ equipment. I did my basement. I was doing it to create a public access show that I wanted to post on the local public access station in PG County, which I never did do, but I did work for another one out in Fairfax County, Virginia. Yeah, I was a PA out there. I did it for about a few weeks and then I stopped. But I learned some valuable lessons about doing stuff like that. So it led me to doing a demo called the DJ Wolf Show. I think I posted it on here one time on YouTube years ago. I think I did. I don't remember. I think I did. If I didn't, maybe I do it again. Crazy. But nevertheless, that's where the moniker DJ Wolf Live came from. You know, it's homage to what I tried to do uh, which eventually turned to social media because I didn't even know what social media was at the time. This is all about brotherhood, showing strength in numbers. That's what we gotta keep doing, folks. Real talk. I didn't mean for you to cry. I'm just telling like it is. I'm just telling from my heart. But I appreciate you, because I'm a little emotional by myself. Because it's just, life is a struggle. But if you stick together, we can work it out, man. You know, I remember years ago, um, my kid was going through some struggles for a while, and we had our little riffs. Families it happens every now and then. But after he got himself together and raised family and all that, we good, man. You know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to bounce back with your family after a riff. You know, didn't always happen with me when I lived at home. Matter of fact, several years ago, when my father passed away, my family did. We had a big fallout. It was ugly, and at some point I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about Ryan because it was really bad. To a point, I was just gonna cut. When they started tripping on me, I just gonna just cut all of them off. I won't even bother with them no more because it was too much. It opened up a lot of wounds at the time for me living at home, and it reminded me of me dealing with the same stuff I dealt with 40, 50 years ago when I lived at home, and I was like, I didn't want to go back to that. But every time I go up there, sometimes it feels that way. Even now, I was just up there last year, and it felt that way. Being said, but that's probably why I've been in the DMV for so long because I don't deal with that mess no more. You know, I got church family that love me, man, with the love of God, man, around me, and I feel it. When my dad passed away in 2019, Oh yeah, it did. It really did hurt. M2 M2 lover. It did. It hurt. Uh, what hurt me more is the fact that my family, when I tried to gather the funds to get my dad's memorial service done, they kind of rushed it, but yet they didn't come up with one dime. I had to borrow money to get it, you know, and I had to use my credit cards up to pay for it. They didn't help me with one damn dime. That's what really hurt. Now I didn't care about the money coming out of my pocket, you know, and I had to borrow some of it. But what hurt is my family didn't even help me with it. It crushed me, and I was so livid. I felt like I was about to have an aneurysm because I was so angry. And my mom's talking, "Oh, you just man, 'cause you ain't getting no sleep." I went, "Oh man, you lucky you my mother, because if she had, let me just shut up." It really it bothered me. It really really did. It bothered me so bad, you know. And that's all right. I'm just I don't want you to make you feel bad. I'm just telling my story, but I'm telling my story to say that God can lift you up, man. You just got to open your heart to Him. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. One of the things I do every morning when I go to work, well, actually, when I'm at work, before I even log into my system and do what I got to do for the rest of the day, whatever, I say a prayer. And it's been matter of fact, no, it's been extremely a blessing to be able to do that and knowing that that you can pray on it and let God, let go and let God, as they say. And that's what I do. And today was one of those days. I'm telling you right now. Yep. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel good just thinking that somebody out there feels kind of like I do and probably going through something. Maybe we should collab on video one day. Real talk. Um, because I kind of am pouring my heart out, but I'm pouring my heart out to say uh, that you ain't alone on this, man. Everybody got their struggles. Everybody got their, you know, foibles, what they call it, stuff like that. But all you gotta do is pray to God, man. Find you a good church home, man, and be humble about it. You have to be humble. Don't go out there thinking you're better than anybody. That's the one of the things I will say. Be yourself. Don't be too much of yourself if it's something you shouldn't be doing. But just be humble. I'm gonna say that. When I go to church, I try to be as humble as I can, man. I ain't trying to put on no airs. I speak to everybody, man. Pray, praise for everybody and all that, man. I ain't trying to put on airs, man. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to, feel the love, you know. And that's one of the things that I don't see much no more, man. There was a time where in my old neighborhood on Woodside Avenue, or Ashbury or Castlewood, all the three places I used to live at, and other streets, Bessemer, over in Glenville and University Circle area, and over in Kinsman area. Those are three big neighborhoods I grew up in. And my dad lived over in Collinwood. I used to hang out over there. Spend many, that's my other neighborhood. And Shaw, where my grandmother and them stayed at. Spent summers over there. I'm just saying, I'm listening to all the neighborhoods I grew up in over Cleveland. And reason why I'm saying that is because there was a time back in the day where people would speak. It wasn't a whole bunch of hang-ups about, you back then when you speak to people just, hey, jovial and happy to speak to you, man. Hey, how you doing? Even now when I go back home, it's like that, you know. But here, the only thing about here, you got some people like that though. But then you got some people like that up there too. But a lot of these young people don't do that, man. They look at you all stupid and stuff. But then again, there are some young people who thirst to be humble to the elders and other folks, man, and want to live a right life. But you have to show by example, you know. But that brotherhood with the commanders, I gotta say, is a very good example of that. You know, very, very, very good example of that. That's on everything. So don't worry. What? Don't worry. You're not alone. I know I'm not. I'm just saying for people who feel that way. And because sometimes I have, and sometimes I went through it. Trust me, I've had my moments, especially when I was in the military. Oh my God, you have no idea. Yep, I had some rough times in that too, man. That's where I did my three years, 11 days, and a wake up and got the hell out of there. Yeah. Well, I love you too. Thank you. Well, I know, and I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to follow your channel. Real talk. We gonna have to collab for real. You know, just talk about life, man. And see, my channel, I consider it more like a life talk. You know, what we talk about. I don't talk about one specific thing. I talk about several different things, man, because that's what life's about. Life's about several different things that's going on. You know, there's about family, about religion, about sports, about politics. Now, let me talk about another subject. I'm gonna get off this subject for a minute because, like I said, I'm gonna say this and go on. Commanders, despite the outcome, I love this team, man. I do. I really do. And I'm gonna say more about it after the game tomorrow night. I think I'm gonna do probably do a podcast tomorrow night and talk about that because I really believe in this team. And this season, regardless of outcome, ain't over for them yet. They got a lot more big things to do. You know. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Ford Field on Fox. Be there, be square. Well, no, no, I think it's NBC. I think one of them. Well, one of the channels is either NBC or Fox. I forgot. Be there, be square. Either way, I think it's Fox. All right. Um. So I was talking to my old lady about this thing with the TikTok. Now they were talking about, oh well, there. I mean, this is all over the news. This is nothing. There's no secret about this. It's very well documented. They're saying that the reason why they want to get rid of TikTok is because uh, it's a security risk. Now, here's my thing: if it's such a security risk, like they say it is, why are you trying to vie to buy it? Why is Donald Trump had changed of heart all of a sudden? Now he said something about because I think he said about a certain percentage of people who were TikTok users voted for him. That's cap. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm hoping to keep doing that for you. I really am. Because see, believe me, I haven't changed of heart about my channel. Because this was one of the things I said was going to do. I was going to be more positive. Maybe not necessarily all the conversations I'm talking about, but have more of a positive approach about things. You know, and I do feel in the last year or so I've been enlightened from a lot of stuff. You know, I really do. Because I'll be cussing on here all the time. I don't even cuss. Now, I notice if you've been watching my channel for the past several weeks, and I go do these live shows, I don't cuss. I don't know. It's just something about I don't have a need to do it anymore. I really don't. Whether I'm at church or at work or any place else, unless I get really really heated. But I wouldn't do this on the channel. At least I don't anymore. You know, and I'm glad though. I don't need to. But I appreciate you, FTM lover, MM2 lover. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be of service. But the real reason, I personally think the real reason that they're telling threatening TikTok is because really it's a money grab. TikTok makes a lot of money. They said something about they got some 170 followers, 7 million followers or something like that. People who use TikTok every day. That's a lot of folks. And I think, if I ain't mistaken, I think a colleague or somebody of mine told me that TikTok actually sell merchandise on their from the app too. I think they do. I know Instagram. One of them do. Yeah, matter of fact, it is TikTok. But anyway, so this is about money grab. They're trying to somebody trying to buy because the rumor has it that Elon Musk was trying to about trying to make a purchase of TikTok. And the truth is, I think somebody in Trump's camp is trying to do it beside him too. That's why I don't totally believe the story about it's a national security risk. Now, if it's such a national security risk, why would you be trying to buy it? Why would you want to go through that structure of buying it and then guys go through the infrastructures of making sure there ain't nothing going on with because then you got to spend extra money. You got to spend money to purchase it. They got to spend extra money to try to make sure that that they risk. You know, don't make sense. Why would you go through all that extra trouble? First of all, uh, if TikTok was that and y'all knew it because they've been talking about this for years. This ain't this subject about TikTok being a security risk and knowing that Americans have been using it left and right for all these years. You never bothered to do anything with it. You never bothered to shut it down and all this other stuff. And here's the thing: look at all these companies involved with that sell stuff from China outside Shein and Temu, like uh, uh, Amazon. Amazon sells stuff from everywhere, including China. Yeah, they certainly do. And many other places that import stuff from China and sell stuff here all the time. Why is it any different with TikTok? Just saying. I thought that was kind of odd to me, personally. It is. It's just something about that don't. It's just something about it that just makes you scratch your head. I'm like, really, really, really? Just saying. You know, just saying. Thought it was strange and odd. And this is so all of a sudden, this is curious. They've been saying it for years. It did nothing to buy it. They never shut it down. They never shut down access to it all this time. Matter of fact, I guess the guy who owns TikTok is supposed to be in town. Yeah, at the invitation of Trump, from my understanding. Don't know it to be a fact, but that's my understanding from the news reports that were saying that. So, to me, if you're inviting him to come to town after you know supposedly everything was a security risk with this TikTok thing, why is he here? You know? Oh wow, I'm so enamored by that. M2 lover, I appreciate you. Yeah, and that's hey okay. So as far as I'm concerned, TikTok is more of a cash grab. I'm saying that because it's for all to hear. Now the other thing is, I don't know what you guys think, and this goes with you too, MM2 lover. I'm hoping you don't get offended, but why? Uh, Jimmy Carter, who passed away a few weeks ago, and they just had the funeral about what week two ago. Um, why was Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of the United States, married to Barack Obama, who was doing all this stuff in the White House, a lot of good positive stuff, mind you, when she was there. All of a sudden, because she's no longer the former First Lady, and she made her money selling books, been on dozens of television shows and movies and talk shows and stuff like that. Did all that stuff, made her money. All right, just so she not be there for the state funeral of former President Jimmy Carter, who my dad and myself loved him as president when he was president. Really did. I truly did. He was just a regular guy. Back on that more now in another podcast, but and he also, my understanding, he started what humanity something about human Humanity, whatever, the organization, all right, that build houses and fed people, man. You know, he believed in that. Very God fearing man. That's the other reason why I respected Jimmy Carter. You know, he wasn't hung up on race like that. He really wasn't. That's another whole story. And they say he was a big proponent of women's rights. Now, mind you, Michelle Obama is, not only was she a proponent of women's rights, she also was campaigning hard for Kamala Harris. Why her, of all people, would not show up at his funeral? The stories were, and it was all over the news. She had scheduling conflicts, and she was on vacation in Hawaii. And and I'm like, okay, you're telling me you couldn't take a break from your vacation to go and then fly back? Wow. And then I heard that she's not going to be at Trump's uh, uh, inauguration. Now, maybe a little gray area there. Okay, not that I'm sold on either one, either way. Anyway, just saying, maybe a little gray area with that. Maybe, but my thing is, you're the former first lady. You're a very public figure, and all of a sudden, you too good to show up anywhere. Really, you're just too good to show up anywhere. Well, I don't get it. I don't know why these guys. Okay. Well, I'm going through because this is the lane right here. Crazy man. Why I get stuck up in this mall? They supposed to got over. But nevertheless, though, I don't understand that. I truly don't understand that. Come on, man. I just don't understand how all of a sudden uh, she's too good to be in a room with everybody else. That was part of your job, first lady. Now all of a sudden she don't know how to be first lady no more. Oh man, gas station I was busy. Okay, nah, I got to no. Okay, one for one. Yeah, she don't know how to be first lady. I can't be first lady no more. I'm too busy. Somebody said, I don't know where it was on YouTube, but I think it was on YouTube or some other channel. They said Michelle Obama act like, oh, good night, uh, MM2 lover, appreciate you. Uh, some reason, somebody was saying on a podcast, I don't know where it was, but I think they're right though. That Michelle Obama thinks that she's too good for. See you tomorrow. That Michelle Obama thinks that she's acting like she's better than Barack, and she does. She really do. I mean, I'm not just saying that. That's where she comes off. She comes off like she's bougie. Well, she always came off a little bougie anyway, but she really comes off bougie now more than ever. She's too good to show up at public events that involves her being there, and then she come up with schedule conflicts like she's more important to him. And I'm gonna say again, newsflash, Michelle Obama, Barack made you because he was president. You didn't make him because he was president. This guy was a Rhodes Scholar. He taught law or whatever he taught, but he was a professor. Okay, now all of a sudden you make him. Please don't make me laugh. I don't get it. The disrespect is real, and that's pretty much what she did. I don't know if they're on the outs or not, but it comes off like that. I really wish the best for them as a couple, as a married couple at that. But it does come off like they might be on the outs. Yeah, I don't know why it does. I don't. But she comes off like she's too good to be around him. You know, I get the thing about Trump because she really don't like Trump, and I understand that, and I understand it. Trump ain't for everybody. He ain't for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not sure he for me, except for one, two things. Um, I'll get to that in another podcast too. But I just don't understand how she thinks she's too good to even support her husband supporting, you know, the legacy of another former president. I don't get it. The logic is just wow. Maybe she has not, but to me, that's just completely disrespectful. I'm sorry. Even not showing up for Trump's inauguration to me is kind of disrespectful. You know, I'm not a fan of Trump, but you respect him holding the office itself. You know, but I think she's really mad about the fact, and because they've already talked about that. She's still mad about the fact that Kamala Harris didn't win the presidency. That's what it's all about anyway. To be honest, she really got her panties in a bunch, so to speak, because she didn't win. That's a fact, and she publicly talked about that not long ago. She publicly talked about that. I think she's really, really disheartened about that. Oh well, you know, cry me a river, cry me a river. You know, I say, well, you mad? Excuse me, folks. I don't know. I've got to clear my throat out. Let me clear my throat. But yeah, she's mad about that. She is mad as I don't know what. You know, I think she could be mad at America about it. I don't know. The way she come off, I think she is. You know, but the thing that trips me out, her Barack that made the coin. I mean, yeah, with the publishing and big deal with Netflix and all of that. She like, oh, forget everybody. And I noticed that when she was up on stage campaigning for Kamala Harris at the DNC, you could tell Michelle changed, man. I ain't gonna say how I think she changed, but I'm talking about her whole mentality, attitude just changed, and you could clearly see it. I'll leave it at that. But you could definitely see it. You could see a difference in her. Strong difference in her. Oh yeah. Say less. Say less. I'll leave it at that. All right, guys. Well, if you like my channel, man, and you like what I'm talking about, I talk about current events, life talks, sports. I'm just a high pod of just social talk. That's what social media is. You know, that's what I do. I don't have a specific. Now, I do have a specific channel that I use to talk about everything to do with music equipment and music news and stuff like that, which is DJ Wolf's Music Box, my other channel. Specifically for that. Now, to my man TD Media, who I'm a big fan of, out in California. He does a channel. He does a separate comedy channel. I have one too, but it ain't like that. His is called Terry Time. Terry Time. It's because Dale Huey said somebody I ain't got time to tarry. But and he talks about politics on the lighter side of it. It's really funny. I definitely recommend that. It's hilarious. Um, but I thought about creating something like that as well, but I'm not. I'm not. I do all my talking on this channel anyway, and until I can get 3,000, 5,000 subscribers, I'm not going to create the second channel right now. You know, not that I don't appreciate y'all subbing me, and I actually are recommending that you sub my channel, like, subscribe, and comment. So, all right, guys and gals, this is about all I got right now. Go Commanders, man! I'll be praying for y'all for that big win tomorrow night. We're gonna celebrate that, so y'all can go to the NFC Championship and beat up on the winner of the LA Rams Philadelphia game. Hopefully it's Philly because we kind of got the number now, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. I don't know if I'm trying to debate if I'm gonna get pizza tomorrow night, get Chinese, which I already had that 2 nights ago, so I think I'm gonna lay off of that. Maybe some Italian other than pizza. I don't know, but either way, it's gonna be a big night, and either way, it's gonna be a big night. I'm gonna celebrate. All right, guys. Oh, and it's King holiday. Matter of fact, speaking of that, I'm gonna be talking about Dr. King. Um, yes, that's the reason that we have the holiday. So why not talk about it? Why not talk about the things that we need to do to change to make the legacy more relevant than ever before? More on that on Monday. All right. And I'll be hitting you up tomorrow, probably sometime after the game or during the game or before the game. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got for you guys and gals out here in social media land. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in, for subbing me, for liking, subscribing, commenting, um, and even texting me on my channel. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. God bless, man. And let's try to learn to love one another better, man. And more on this and other stuff on the back burner. I'm out.